and it's so important. And then the new product release. Is that cool? Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to the basics. All right? There's some new folks here. There's some folks that have heard some of this. But I really think we need to break things down and take a step back. Okay? This is an emerging market that is exploding, obviously. Probably exceeding expectations than any of us ever imagined. Not just within what we're doing with the fluid, but just in general. And I have to tell you that that's a beautiful thing for all of us here, with Brizo Pure, with Trinant. And the reason why I say that is, the poo, as I like to call it, is being weeded out. Yeah! Okay? Hundreds of companies now that were there in December are no longer there. Okay? The more stringent the rules and regulations get, the better for us. Better for us. As long as we're not saying silly things and doing things we shouldn't be doing, right? Keep everything where it should be. And I tell you, it's better for us for a variety of reasons. People are copying or attempting to copy our terminology. When we first started, Tyleen and I started working with this CBD whole flower fluid, 5 years, whatever it is now, everyone kind of looked at us like, what are you even talking about? This can't be, this doesn't make sense. What does words like water soluble, aqueous, and we've moved to water compatible. You know why we've moved to water compatible, by the way? Because everything we say, everyone else starts to say. That's all. I have to tell you a quick story that happened just today. Went to meet with a big producer of CBD here in the Valley. And I took this meeting because it was probably the fourth person that asked me to meet with this company. They really, really wanted to show me this amazing CBD and how many millions and millions of dollars they had spent getting this product to where it is today. And I couldn't get a word in, and I was like, all right, let me just let this guy go. Sometimes you guys experience a little bit of ego there. That's okay. He was excited about what they had done. And then it was my turn. And I just waited, but I was ready for my turn.
Come on, John.
And I said, could you show me your water-soluble CBD? Can you show me what that means? What does that look like? Poured it in some bottled water. I don't know what it did. It got murky. I said, interesting, that's water-soluble. Okay. I said, what did it turn into? And he's looking at me, and finally I said, look, let's just cut to it. I applaud you for everything you've done, but I'd like you to do something for me. First thing I want you to do is taste something. And I put one drop, and I pushed Janelle at the licky lick. I had one drop to this guy, and he licked it and was speechless. And I just looked at him, and I did one of these, and he says, what is that? I go, that's the plant. That's CBD. I got goosebumps right now because you need to be empowered. You need to know. And then, of course, I went on to the guy who got me over to this meeting, and I did 2 drops in his bottle of water. And I go, look at that. He goes, well, where is it? I go, that's what water soluble is. That's what water compatibility is. And he just kind of nodded his head. Story after story like that keeps happening. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to someone who is a CBD expert and they wanted to test our product or send it to their labs, and then I get calls from labs and I get calls from people and they're like, we don't even know how to test this. Why not? And I've heard this more than once because we've never tested CBD this good. What does that even mean? We have, as we've all kind of joked and said, the unicorn. That's real. That's truth. The truth is in the end result. The truth is these experiences, testimonials that we've seen, the lives that have been changed right in front of our eyes. You have witnessed it, yes or no? I don't want you to feel intimidated by anyone when it comes to CBD, because they don't have what you do. Period. Basic information. You do not need to be an expert. You don't need to get caught in what we say the weeds. Kind of funny, right? You don't need to get It's not about that. What it's about is the end result of the product. What it's about is doing what nature intended that plant to do in the first place. Okay? So when you're hearing these words, first of all, water soluble, the first thing I recommend you do is say, that's awesome. Can I see it? Have them show you what's water soluble if you get into these conversations. I'm bringing these topics up because this is what I'm bombarded with every day. Okay, so ask that question. You have to remember that whatever the magical percentage is nowadays, but most CBD in the United States, I mean by a landslide, it's probably still 90-95%, is created from isolate. Maybe you hear industrial hemp, isolate, whatever, isolate. They're isolating a molecule of the plant. They're amplifying that thing, kind of like what you see in prescription drugs, right? Where something is amplified. It's isolated and it's amplified. You'll hear terms, and you guys are already hearing these questions and comments, the entourage effect, full spectrum, broad spectrum. If it's isolate, it's isolate. What? There is no full spectrum of what? Of an isolate? Of one little piece of the puzzle? Okay? There are so many cannabinoids, there's so many things in this plant that are available when extracted correctly. The principal fundamentals that we like to share with people is what I said in the beginning, and that was we don't use heat and we don't use chemicals to extract. Okay? We've got that part. That's a big deal. But before you extract, you have to say what kind of plant. And most CBD products out there are coming from isolate, and it's not the same. It's just a small little piece of the puzzle. There's huge potential in plant medicine. Nature did it correct. We just happen to have a way of extracting or pulling from that plant one time, and we pull everything. What I mean by everything, you're going to hear more and more as this industry grows, terms like CBG, right? CBD, CBDA, CBN, CBG. I promise you the next thing that everyone's going to move to will be CBG. It's very expensive. And they're going to say, we sell CBG now. Cool. That's already in our whole flower fluid. Terpenes, the essence of that plant, that flower, whatever you want to call it, everything works together. The flavonoids, the terpenes, they're there in nature, if these were real, and what these are. It's the same with what we do. We don't add these things back to the product. That doesn't make any sense. You can't play God. You can't play Mother Nature. Nature knows what to do. Less is more when you have the whole thing. Does that make sense? This market is changing so fast, and I'm more excited than ever because that's going to help us tremendously. I mean, it really, really is. So I want you to be excited that more and more things are out there talking about CBD, because we don't lose. Isn't that cool to know you don't lose? You can't, when it comes to product, you don't lose. You can't lose. Do you guys understand that? No. Do you really understand? That is Trinant. They want this now. They're figuring it out. It's a little too late. They want that product to come over here and join with you. There are probably now, the last number I read, over 12,000 clinical studies done on CBD in the U.S. This stuff's really happening now, guys. There was a recent poll a doctor put out in September last month. He said, this doc said in a recent, over 14% of Americans now use CBD. It's pretty fast. It's pretty fast growth. I don't know how accurate that number is, but it's an accurate perspective on things, right? With all the excitement and energy of what's going on. I want to go into the product in a second, but I want to start first with the fundamental product, and that's the fluid. The whole flower fluid is the magic. That is the magic. Right? That's the thread through Brizo Pure that you'll always see. Okay? It starts with that. It starts with this extracted process that gives you the plant that has everything in it, medicinally, that you could hope for out of this specific plant. Does that make sense? Okay. You can talk about the cost per dose, because less is more. Less is more with Soothe. I'm just rounding here, $100 or whatever it is a month. 2 drops are a dose. There's 100 drops in the bottle. That's 50 doses. It's a couple bucks a dose, right? These are still the things that no one is addressing. No one's talking about cost per dose. They don't do that. It makes no sense for them to do that. These are the things you want to be talking about. But first and foremost, before any and all of this, it really doesn't matter unless you understand what CBD is and why do you need it. CBD is not a product that you use because you have an issue. That is one reason to use it. CBD, when done correctly, the reason why you want CBD is because it's just like taking a digestive enzyme, like life. Okay, the number one goal of CBD is to get your body into homeostasis, to get it to balance. That is the number one thing. For most of you, maybe I'll use life as an example. If you stop taking life, you'll know. If you stop taking balance, you'll know. If you stop taking these things, you'll know. So it's your responsibility to set that expectation going in. Yes, it might help you sleep better. It may help your neck feel better. That's true. It may help this one's anxiety. That's true. Our bodies are different. We're the same, but we have different scenarios, right? The endocannabinoid system. Really, really simple. Receptors throughout your body that regulate and communicate. That's what you're talking about when you're talking about these receptors. This is not difficult. Please don't complicate this. Every single human being on this planet, in my opinion, needs real CBD. Why wouldn't anyone not want to put their body into balance? Why wouldn't anyone want their body to be more efficient? The list is so ridiculously long of what CBD, when done correctly, can do for the human body. It's almost comical. I've said this before. I'm hearing and seeing and witnessing just wild things. You don't believe me? Look at all the studies that are out there. This thing's progressing. You're talking everything from pain to anything to do with the brain. We've talked about that. You guys know it's a bit weight loss, nausea. I mean, there's so many things for CBD. You cannot afford not to use CBD every single day of your life. You can't do it. You cannot do it. You do not use a plant from nature that can regulate and balance your body, because if your body is balanced, everything else works better. Do you guys understand that? So you can't go to people and tell them, it's going to do this for them. You don't know if it's going to do that for them. It might do something right now for Josh. Immediately, he may feel something. Alicia may not feel it for 2 months. We're all different. So it's up to us how to set that expectation. It's not a snake oil. Now, most CBD is another topic. This is something the human body is yearning for. This is something we didn't know. This is something that was discovered, whatever it was, back around 1964. This CBD in Israel. The endocannabinoid system was, 10, 15 years ago, whatever it was. You started hearing about that a little bit. So this is truth. This is real. This is not hype. The industry might have a lot of hype, but this is not that. Does that make sense? You guys know this. You know this. I want to talk quickly about Serene. Is that cool? I don't think anyone in here, shouldn't say anyone, I don't think most of us understand Serene. I'm going to give you a little something, something. The reason why you start with soothe is that allows people to experience nature. Okay? It also allows you to do a quick demo. It also allows you to show what water-soluble, water compatibility really is. Did you know Serene is a metered dose? Did you know with the energizing process, and we got studies you can look at, did you know Serene absorbs 23% higher than Soothe? Okay? Some of you only want Soothe. That's cool. You're going to do whatever you want to do, but you need to know what's what. Soothe tastes like a plant. Serene tastes like a breath freshener or something, right? Know the differences. Because you're asked, and I'm asked every day, which one do I use? I can tell you what Italian and I use. We use both. We use both. The sprayer is a little more convenient. Your pocket, your purse, your bag, whatever, right? Not the same for some people that have never, when they taste Soothe, some love it, some may not. So understand the simplicity of Soothe. That is the whole flower fluid. Serene takes it to another level. I like using both. There's a time and a place for both. I like the demonstration of Soothe. I like the taste of that plant. I like the fact I can put it on topically if I need it, because I don't really need to anymore because of me. Okay? So, Soothe, Serene, right? Relief. I won't go into all the ingredients. You can do that on your own and relief. But let's just say that pain cream works amazing. Amazing. You have seen what's happened with Soothe, just used topically, right? For pain, many of you, we see a lot of that. When you add in what we've added into the pain cream, which A, is more cost effective, right? It's going to spread more. You only need a little bit. And just like everything we've taught with CBD, with what we do, less is more. Okay? You always listen to your body. Start out. Don't try to do too much. Don't tell people to use a bunch so you can sell a bunch. Okay? They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. In combination, these things are wonderful. If I'm in pain and I want to put the pain cream on, I'm still going to take Soothe or Serene. I want to work from the inside out and the outside in. Does that make sense? I think the biggest thing we just need to understand is CBD is for everyone, if done correctly. And it's not for one specific thing. It is extremely preventative. Just like when we teach and we talk about digestive enzymes, that type of thing, plant enzymes. Isn't it better to prevent than have to correct? Right? always say that. Who are we to not share this? Who are we to see someone limping around or whatever their issue might be? Who are we to prejudge and not share our knowledge and what we know? I cannot tell you over the last 15, 20 years how many strangers we've gone up to and said, I think I can help you. Tell me a little bit about what's going on. I'm watching you. I listened to you after you ate. I watched you struggle over here. Because once you know, you know. This is the biggest thing that we can share with people. It's being enlightened. We have to share knowledge and information of what's out there. And just remember, the confidence level you should have is so tremendous. They don't have what you have. And when you hear these things, I tried CBD oil, it didn't work for me. That's okay, that's a great thing. Well, you didn't try whole flower fluid. Or you'll hear maybe CBD, I'm using somebody and it's helping me. That's great. If that's helping you, I can't wait for you to experience this. Okay? Know these little things to discuss with them. There's so many amazing things happening in this industry because it's being researched more, right? It's being researched. It's being put into every kind of product you can imagine, from beverages and foods and all these things. You're going to hear different things about CBD every week. This is, I think, the biggest thing we'll ever experience, at least in my lifetime. This is dramatic change. Technology's changed our world that we live in. And from a health perspective, CBD is life-changing. You have to recognize that. Don't complicate things. Don't become an expert. Don't become an expert. Don't attempt to. Know your basics. Know your basics. But every single time someone sends me a label or puts me on the phone with someone, you guys, we've never lost. I don't want to be cocky or arrogant. We win. You win every time. Quit worrying about what other people are doing. I remember there was one company, what their name, and they were talking about this, that, and the other at the beginning of the year. Not even around anymore. Okay? Truth is truth. Have that confidence when you're sharing these things. And I'm not downplaying soothe versus serene versus relief. They're all magical in my opinion. But I want you to understand there are differences there. But soothe is the whole flower fluid that's in serene. Do you understand that? That's the same stuff. There's some energizing technology that we can go into later that increases the way serene is absorbed. Does that make sense? Yep. So, but it's complicated. When you start using relief, man, you are going to notice some big change. You're going to notice some change. When you take ingredients that already have value on their own, combine those together with the fluid, we got something very special. I mean, you do not leave here without that product. Because people tend to love things that they feel, right? And we've seen the experiences when we're out sharing soothe or serene. And what we've witnessed with soothe topically, you guys, this takes it to a whole other level because you're putting some other pieces of nature with it, and it's going to cover more area of the body, and people are going to feel better about that. Right? It's kind of hard to do that with a drop. Right? Would you like a soothe or 2 drops? So now we got this whole little selection for them that will enhance their experience. Does that make sense, you guys? Yeah. Do you understand that this endocannabinoid system is basically receptors in the body? Right? You understand that we're kind of filling those receptors in a sense? If you think CBD soothe, if you think you aren't feeling what you're supposed to feel, I don't know what it is you're supposed to feel. Right? Some will feel, some won't. Just like we teach with plant medicine and digestive enzymes, you're always welcome to stop for a couple of days and see what you notice. Okay? That's a good way for people to understand some of the experiences that they're having. But don't think this has to be an end-all, be-all, and tell people it's going to make you sleep better. It might. Okay? Just get that part. Stick with me here. Because the expectation level you set with them is going to determine everything. And let them know going in. You may feel it right now. You may feel it in a day. You may feel it in a week. You may feel it in a month. You may feel it in 3 months. But let me tell you, it's doing its job. That's what this is about. Make sure you paint that picture. So no, I don't want anyone having false expectations. Isn't it better to over-exceed, right, expectations than tell someone specific that's it's going to know? That may not do that for them. So I think that's the biggest concern I have is that we need to address this. You guys, everyone needs it. This is simple. This isn't for one thing. And I'm driving this home because it's the same thing I keep hearing over and over and over. So keep it simple. You have what is called the entourage effect. The entourage is that you have the terpenes, the flavonoids, and all these cannabinoids in there. Okay? So we get that? So when you hear that, full spectrum, that's you. That's Sue. We're full spectrum. Okay? You can't be an isolate and be full spectrum. So these are the words you're going to hear. You can't be an isolate and be full spectrum. Whole flower fluid is in a class of its own. I got to jump off here. But you guys, get excited about CBD.